Hey guys, Andy here. I should have what will hopefully be quite an interesting head-to-head here. On the left is my Huawei Mate 20 Pro. On the right is my Samsung Galaxy Note 9. So the Huawei is rocking the HiSilicon Kirin 980 chipset. It's their own chipset and it is a 7nm chipset. I think possibly the first or the only Android to be rocking a 7nm chipset. That basically means it's a thinner chipset. It should be more efficient. It has an octa-core CPU. You can see the specs of the individual cores there on the screen. The GPU is a Mali G76 NP10 and it rounds it all off with 6GB of RAM. On the right is my European version Samsung Galaxy Note 9, which has an Exynos 9810 octa chipset, 10nm, which is the sort of the standard up until this point. You can see the specs of the octa-core CPU there as well. It has a Mali G72 MP18 GPU and also has 6GB of RAM. So it's hard to know how those should compare because they're quite different sets of specs really. But let's kick things off with the fingerprint sensor test. So obviously the Huawei has an in-screen fingerprint sensor. The Note 9's is on the back, so it's going to be a little bit harder to test. You would think the in-screen is going to be slower, and we see there from the first one that, yeah, it actually is a bit slower. But there's not a huge amount between them, I would say. I don't think my Note 9 is all that fast, though, to be fair. So it could be they're both a little bit slow, to be honest. And in fact, they're the Huawei snuck in to win the last of the three. But I think you do give the fingerprint sensor to the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. We're moving straight on to the Angry Birds 2 opening test. It looks like the Huawei has edged out to an early lead, and yes, we are into the game first on the Huawei. So I'll give it a second run just to double check the result, I suppose, really. If we were to get a split, then I might go a third time, but it looks like the Huawei is going to take the second run as well. As it does. There's not a great deal between them, and you're not going to be particularly overly concerned if you're a Note 9 owner, I would hope, at this point. We're going to move on to Geekbench 4. And Geekbench 4 is actually quite slow, so I'm not going to make you sit and watch it. It's not really visually much to see, so we shall skip ahead as the result comes in for the Mate 20 Pro. Now, that is one of the highest scores I think you're ever going to see at the moment. On Geekbench 4, and the Note 9 is going to come in around about now with just under 9,000, which is still obviously a very respectable score, but clearly the Mate 20 Pro wins the Geekbench 4 test. If you want to have a look at some of the figures, I'll scroll in, and if I won't lie, none of that means a lot to me, but maybe it matters to you, so and then we're going to head outside for the GPS test. So I'm going to try and reset GPS state. I mean, they lock again already before I can even do anything. So they are both locked. So what I will do is close all on both and then open them, and we'll see what happens with that. And that was, that's very close, isn't it? I mean, I think possibly the Note snuck it, but I'm actually going to award it to the Mate 20 Pro because it seems to have better accuracy. It can see more satellites and it has slightly better accuracy. So GPS to the Mate 20 Pro, and we're going to head back inside to listen to the loudspeakers on them both. Here we go with some music.
Tell me where to go, tell me what to do, I'll be right there for you. Tell me where to go, tell me what to do, I'll be right there for you.
I think clearly the Note 9 is slightly louder, but they both actually sound very good. They both have quite good quality. We'll move on to spoken voice.
Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance.
It also overturned a lot of the rules and laws, and now we're in the situation where people...
Of course, some of those inquiries are legitimate.
Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance. It also overturned a lot of the rules and laws, and now we're in the situation where people are clamoring for the Googles and the Facebooks and the Twitters to lock them out and provide real uncrackable encryption for the Googles and the Facebooks and the Twitters to lock them out and provide real uncrackable. So I think we have to give that to the Note 9. It does sound a bit louder. They both have very good quality though. I think that's quite an important point to make. So you won't be too disappointed if you're a Mate 20 Pro user. We're moving on to the screen test. Well, it's screen brightness test if I'm being technical. We're going to turn off auto adjustment, auto brightness, crank it right the way up, and we've got a nice white screen. And then as I put the light meter onto the screen, we see there was a 643 there for a second on the Mate 20 Pro, which is a reasonable result. And the Samsung 589, I think, there, 591. But again, not a huge amount between them, but the Mate 20 Pro does appear to have the brighter screen. So the award goes to the Mate 20 Pro for that one, for screen brightness. We're moving on to the browser test. I will start off by clearing data on both devices to make sure that they're not using cached information, and we're going to go to the BBC News website for the first test. And that, I don't know, that's got to be a tie, isn't it? That was very, very close. I'd have to go to a frame by frame to split those two. On NFL.com though, the Mate 20 Pro does appear to have come in sooner. But again, not a large amount between them, as I guess you would expect. And then finally to The Verge, and I think the Mate 20 Pro does just sneak in before. It seems to sort of wait for me to agree to something here, but it did load in before the Note 9. Again, really not all that much between them. You can see obviously they're both very smooth in the scrolling, no issues there. So yeah, I think that has actually been quite an interesting test. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. The Mate 20 Pro does come out 5-2 winner, but actually the GPS and the browser test was so close you could almost just not count those at all. But it is still a win for the Mate 20 Pro, so I guess it's about what's more important for you really. You make your decisions based on the results that I've given you, I guess, I suppose. But both very good devices. They both have some sort of quite unique selling points themselves. The Mate 20 Pro with its reverse wireless charging and in-screen fingerprint reader. The Galaxy Note 9 with the S Pen and its DeX. So I guess you just choose what suits you best. Hardware-wise, there's not a huge amount between them. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please let me know. For now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum if you've got any questions about things, or request me to review things, or anything else. Just come and have a chat on the forum.